Amma. Yes, salutations, respected sadhakas, respected shrotas, respected sevakas, respected dharmikas, respected shishyas to Guru Parampara, respected bhaktas of the Ishtadevatas. Salutations to the shrotas, salutations to the wonderful completed mumukshus and very serious, sincere jignasus. Let us again together deeply, intensely, wholly and wholeheartedly, consciously remember and thank and pray to the Parabrahma Tattva for being the Self in us, to Ishvara for giving such a beautiful world for our sadhana moksha, to all the devatas that how loving kind they are, like the parents, even though we don't regularly remember them, but they continuously keep on blessing us with the abilities in all faculties. Let us remember with again intense respect, reverence, with gratitudes. The gurus also who have taken up the task and so stubborn they are in their commitment to help us, guide us toward the path spiritual, that we reject them, we refuse to listen to them. We, in fact, dislike them or hate them or go away from them or run away from them. In fact, they are like the Bhavaroga Bheshaja, the doctors. How much ever the children dislike the injection or treatment. But how kind is doctor that somehow he injects that medicine for the health of the child. So too, we all children. Yes, very naughty or very childish for our being interested in the worldliness, not in moksha. But these gurus, how many rupa they take, how much of natakas they do, finally to see to it that we are injected with the spiritual initiative. They are so kind, they give the nurturing, nourishing supplements of love, the kindness, the guidance, the forgiveness, etc. So that the injected spiritual medication is helped by all these necessary ingredients that we are truly becoming spiritual sadhakas. With what words we can thank our gurus, Guru Parampara, Guru Tattva. You will enjoy it in the evening Yoga Vasishta class. How? One side, this Guru Valmiki ji telling Raja Arishnanemi and Sage Bharadwaja. Other side, you will see the Guru Vishwamitra ji and the Guru's main Guru Vasishta ji, his teachings. How beautifully they will go on guiding us. From that we can see eternally. As eternal is Srishti, as eternal is God, so eternal are the Gurus going on guiding us. God manifests his Gurus, that's all. If we can have that attitude, seek their guidance, things start becoming clearer, we can really grow. And then more beautiful are our Shruti Mata, Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa. They're just lying with full love in them, helplessly waiting for us to lift them, go through and browse through. That those books who are so active alive are ready to guide us, bless us. So these are our five pillars of spiritual life: the Shastra, the Guru, the Devata, the Paramatma, the Parabrahma Tattva. So having every day remembered them, having extending gratitudes to them, having extended the prayers to them to be with us, bless us in spite of us. Our day should start and the efforts at our level we should keep on pursuing. Now, today, our Upanishad synopsis we will see. Few more only left. Then one Parayanam we may do it of the whole thing. 2-3 minutes. Today's introductory thought is aim at trupti, aim at contentment. From small little moment to moment things up to the entire life should be full of that trupti and contentment in its totality. Conscious. And one way of trupti is mind's imagination. Second way of trupti is that which is gained when the things are done as they are supposed to be done. The outer truptis, the inner truptis. The outer truptis with regard to our outer whole things and beings with which we are related, isn't it? Though trupti is such a thing ki if the human being is out of matured understanding and balance, he will lose sight of the definition meaning of trupti and remains asantushta atrupta throughout and go on suffering. We are not going into that endless suffering way of asantrupti discussion. We are just talking that fulfillment in life, contentment in life, trupti in life is not impossible. Ultimate is spiritual trupti only, no doubt. But even in the world, exactly at every moment when we are alert and respond properly with wisdom behind, then there is a trupti, isn't it? Like outside for that father, when he's conscious of the children, their growth, their needs, not grades. If he's able to mind them, to the extent of his own capacities and feeling inside, there's a trupti. Yes, मैं जो करना था कर सकता था किया मैंने. Like a state central government. When I am given power, I tried my best to give the public who elected me the best of the amenities, facilities. See, that's a beautiful trupti. How much it is achieved is though important but secondary because it is an endless saga continuous. But from my side, have I done the best? So too towards the wife. That trupti, yes, she has come from that house as the wife, husband. Then, yes, I loved, I understood. I catered to the greeds, nahi needs. From my side, my ego and my selfishness were not overpowering me to miss my duties towards her or him. See that trupti, is it not in our hands? First understanding, then execution. So too I am in this world, in the society. So through my profession, through my following the rule duties as mentioned in the constitution, to by avoiding the laws outside, you know, there's a great trupti. Wonderful if one can be matured that way. Who makes us miserable is mind. Mind does wrong, mind suffers. But if the intellect dominates the mind with the authentic, correct understanding, and if we allow the intellect to dominate even in performance, then there will be always the struggle between mind and intellect, but intellect will win. Like the mind says, इतने पैसे मिलने वाले थे तुमने क्यों नहीं लिया उससे रिश्वत. द माइंड विल से, बट इंटेलेक्ट से यस रिश्वत नहीं लिया, इससे पैसे नहीं मिले, नो डाउट, बट देन there was always a risk of being caught and being humiliated, being suspended. Is not all that avoided? How peaceful the life is. We didn't get the money extra illegal. There's only regret or guilt. But other than that, how much happiness, satisfaction is there? Oh dear mind, you tell. Then mind says, keep quiet. Mind keeps quiet. It says, TK. It will look for another mauka. But the winner is intellect, in whose life the intellect wins. He is really human. Mind is the one which goes on telling. Like the income tax. See the deep joy when you pay the taxes properly. Though some more money the government has taken, where it goes, it will come back to the whole world only. Isn't it? That's a system. We are in it. We have to abide. So too following the traffic rules. So how beautiful. All other legal systems. तो ये क्या है ना, जो करना है उसको कर कर तृप्ति पाना is million times wiser than trying to avoid or avoid the things. It shows the immaturity. So towards the relatives, friends, the life when maturely live, there should be a trupti. Look for it. Look for the deep inner trupti, then satisfying the ego or fancies of the mind. The ego satisfies, the fancy of the mind is satisfied. But later on, it will be either regrets or guilts, or that incurred sin will give us dukkha. Somehow or the other, it will boomerang. Just like good done, somehow or the other comes back to help us. So too, the good not done, bad done comes to us. Clear? So, like that. Think about correct matured contentment. Like we are doing our classes. We may not be doing at the highest level, but every day we are coming. It's a trupti. We are trying to chant mantras and see the meaning. The trupti is there in the efforts. Good activity taken up, we are trying our best. Little more sincerity, more trupti will come. Little more perfection, more trupti will come. But these two are the slow, steady growths and evolutions. They're little sublime, they're subtle. Only when we do various sadhanas, prarthanas, when the grace comes, we get empowered to do them little higher and perfect way. On that process also we are there, definitely. But right now, it's a trupti there. Our own Sanatana Dharma Shastras, we are studying like that. So too, the trupti at the Sharira level. And we cannot live with rashness with our body. The biggest crime we do is against our Sharira only. By overfeeding it, by giving it too much of laziness or by putting it in excessive activity. All of that are the crimes against the body, our own body. Like toward the children, as by pampering them, we commit a big crime towards them that we don't allow them to blossom properly. So too with our sharir. Remember always that shloka of Gita, युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावमोदस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. So ahara, vihara, cheshta, swapna. Ahara is a food. Vihara is exercises, entertainment. Chesta is the duties to be done. Swapna is the rest given. With all those four, when the body is maintained long time, healthy, consciously, that is the trupti we get at the sharira level. I have not pampered or tampered or tortured my body. Bhagavan never agrees this. In 16th chapter we see, Karshayanta sharirastham bhutagramam achetasaha mam chaivanta sharirastham tan vidhi asura nishchaya. Those who do the karshana of the sharira by too much of fastings or struggling, they are all troubling or torturing me only. Mam chaiva antastam shariram. Tan vidhi asura nishchaya. They are called asuras. By too much pampering also asura. By too much of making it struggle also asura. The upadhis of ours are like our small children of 6 months, 1 year, 1.5. दिन भर उनको देखते ही रहना पड़ता है हमको. Isn't that children at that age, they will take anything that is on the floor, he will eat that. कागज भी खाएगा, कुछ भी खाएगा. और ये भी नहीं very, once he starts turning, he will turn and fall from the cot. When he starts crawling, he can go and put finger in any of the plug sockets. How much we have to monitor him? All our upadhis also are like that. That art we have to develop. So, my body, maximum time, I maintained it in healthy condition with my conscious attentiveness. That effort is trupti and the body also good condition. That is a trupti. Beyond that, when prarabdha is strong, we can't help it. लाख कोशिश करो आप कभी ठीक नहीं होता वो आपके हाथ में नहीं. Isn't it? In some time, some cases, every case, when one has to go through that, this is a problem. Bhagavan will not allow us to become aware. ये सब फिर अलग तरीके होते हैं, वो थोड़ा सूक्ष्म बात है, उसको साइड पे रख दो. So too, at the mind level, the trupti we have to aim at. When the mind is filled with that pure, unconditional love for all, only love. All other things are dissolved in that flood of flow of love. See the trupti. The mind hesitates in the beginning. No, how can we love that fellow, this fellow? They are wrong. They are, cheated me, troubled me. So these are बच्चों का विचार है ये, छोटे बच्चों का, बच्चों की तरह का. But then she say, okay, intellect comes into picture and says, but your peace is important, not your mind. Then anything. To err is human, so they have done it. So what? You can love or not, yeah, that's the enough reason for you to love. Expression of love can be differing at the different places. That calls for different presence of mind, alertness, and maturity. Expression of love. But then having love, isn't it? Remember it? Like Bhagavan, he loves all jivas. But expression of love is different to different people at different. है कि नहीं? ध्यान से देखना हो बात को. Then such things when 2 or 3, 4 are there in the mind, there is a तृप्ति. बाबा मैंने जिंदगी में सबको प्रेम किया, सबको क्षमा किया, कोई बदले की आग में न मैं जला न किसी को जलाया. हाँ, I was going through hardships, I was tested, I was tortured, I was troubled, I was ill treated. So these are all okay. But then from my side, what came to me is never in my hands. But what I give back or gave back always was in my hands. Isn't it? See that trupti in that mind which responds well to the world, healthily to the world. Isn't it? At the mind level. Trupta, aha. And also some more positive values. Never allowed the negative values to पनपने नहीं दिया. Allowed them to grow, मानो. Little alertness के साथ. What a safety, what a security. Great thing it is. So many options, occasions came. for mind to get totally derailed, distracted, go into the negative channels of so many types. Not one, not two. But then every time I didn't give chance. I didn't take a chance. There's a trupti. Badhiya na? Like when you go with your friends, they're all drinking, they offer you. एक minute में they'll tempt you and you take it. Then that's a habit. But we said no, yeah, मैं तो buttermilk लेता हूँ, yeah, only water. So you have rejected that. They might have even said something to you, क्या यार तुम भी आजकल. But later on you come back home, you are in front of God or our Guru. They question you, क्या किया रे तुमने? I tested you. Bhagavan, I won the match. They offered, I didn't take. Bhagavan will feel so happy. He will congratulate. Guru will congratulate. And that trupti, you know, getting certificate in front of the God and Guru is important. Or getting certificate from the stupid fellows who are habituated to negative. What is important? See that trupti in the mind. सर उठाकर भगवान गुरु के सामने हमें जीना. Not सर उठाकर in front of दुनिया by becoming slave to them, and in front of God Guru झुकाकर with regret and guilt. There is no trupti there. Mm. Last but not the least is the intellectual trupti. Intellect is trupta only when it has more and more correct, authentic, clear knowledge about the tattva, about the tattva prapti marga, about one's own management for that, one's own vyavahara inside and outside. The more clarity comes. It's a long process, please. Nobody becomes completely fully matured in all aspects just like that suddenly. Oh, and it's an endless thing. Maturity is an endless thing. Perfection is a process, not an achievement. Every time you need to perfect. मैं कल perfect था. It won't help you today. Today also we have to. Isn't it? So that intellectual trupti of gaining more and more clear, complete, authentic knowledge. Spashta jnanam, samagra jnanam, then authentic knowledge. Pramanita jnana कहते हैं उसको. Then executing that knowledge in actions. I think we should seek this more than anything else in life. Perfect knowledge. कि every moment we know exactly what to do and we know how to respond when the world comes in front of us, in which me and the world both are benefited. Isn't it? वाह, तृप्ति of the intellect. कभी कभी क्या है, स्वयं को वो क्लिक नहीं होता. You can take from others. Like Dasharath. He was one-sided. My Rama I can't send. I will come. But luckily for him, earlier surrender, Vasishthaji takes initiative. Today we will see that. The eighth sarga. He goes on explaining. So that matured understanding of Vasishthaji, Dasharathji borrows or takes or agrees. That also intellection only. Accordingly, he sends Rama. अब देखो फायदा कितना हुआ. लाभ भी हुआ, फिर तृप्ति भी हुआ. Rama's Kalyana done there means Rama became famous and all. Vasishthaji is Trupta because his advice was taken. Vishwavitraji extremely contented because his work is accomplished. Isn't it? So Buddhi ko bhi Trupti deve. Finally, the Atma Trupti. An Atma can never be Trupta by its identification with limited, perishable, gross, matter-related upadhis. Atma can never be contented with its identification with the limited, perishable, gross, this matter upadhis. Atma Trupti will be there only when the Atma identifies itself to be the Paramatma. The supreme, infinite, Shuddha Satchidananda. That is ultimate. For the sake of that, when it clicks that I have to go for it, for the sake of that, anything in the world is worthy of sacrificing or taking up. वो परमात्मा तृप्ति पाने के लिए कुछ भी छोड़ना करना सब इंसाफ है, ऑल या वट एवर यू कॉल एक्सेप्टेड है. So may we aim at that in our life everywhere. Sharira trupti arogyam, mano trupti prema, buddhi trupti jnanam, aham trupti atma tattvam. Outside trupti by doing our duties at every moment, by responding to the world authentically. So let us enjoy that dignified inner life, which we can't explain to others, show to others, but we know. Just like if these things are not done, the asantrupti also, which is our regret and suffering, which we can't show to others, even if it is shown, what can they do? You know, if I don't manage my body with health and feel trupti inside and tell others कि मुझे ये बीमारी हो दुख है, what can they do? Once they will sympathize, second time they will laugh at you, Murak, take care of yourself, isn't it? But it is in our own selves. Trupta Jivanam. Finally, Atma Anubhava only the final Trupti. वो तो छोड़ना ही नहीं. Ours is that only main goal. So longer Trupti is better than shorter, Sukha and Bhoga. You know, the difference between Prayas and Shreyas is this. Prayas gives immediate Bhoga Sukha, but later on, Dukkha, regret and Asantrupti. I have wasted all my life. Kimahagam sadhana karavam, kimahagam papam akaravam iti. But the Shreya Marga, Shreyas is ultimately is moksha. But at all our Upadhi Vyavahara level, when we live well, authentically, that alone leads to Shreyas. Therefore, that all also is Shreyas also. That in the beginning appears to be misery because of sacrificing so many. But that is a long lasting trupti. Shreya Prema yehi difference. The one who understands it, his understanding is matured. The one who accepts it, his acceptance is matured. The one who follows it, his lifestyle is matured. The one who establishes in it, he is a complete man. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वद्धि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता पूर्वोऽभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने निष्ठित अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां पूर्ण आयुरारोग्यादि शक्ति संपदा सानुकूलता साधनानां प्राप्ति शत्रुघ्नबाह्याभ्यन्तर निर्मूलन धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन प्रयत्न वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम वांग मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Friends, yesterday we saw up to this thing ki Paramatma Simanam Vidarya Etaya Dvara Prapadyata. Then Trayam Avasataha Trayaswapnaha. Three places of abode indicate his identification with three upadhis. Trayaswapnaha indicates he is going through three avasthas. So in the beginning, they being new appear to be enchanting. Later on, it is found that they are the most binding things. He went on suffering. Suddenly, one day, he decided to end the sufferings. When the decision to end the sufferings come, then only the inquiry begins. In the inquiry of it, more than inquiring about where the world is going wrong, to give me the dukkha, the correct inquiry is where am I going wrong in getting the dukkha. In that inquiry, he came to know that his wrong identity was the cause of all dukkha. I entered only into the body just out of play, but I have forgotten that it is a play. I took it so serious that the three upadhis I identified have become so real, permanent in it that I started suffering their limitations as if mine. Who am I actually? You understand? In that strong, deep, ruthless thinking, he understood that he is not a jiva suffering with the three avasata tadatmya and three swapnaha anumodi. Brahma tatamama pashyatu. Sarva vyaptam Brahman is me. In that way he realized. Though playing the play in that sharira. You understood? I am in the body, but I am not limited in the body. Like I am in the house. I am not limited in the house, isn't it? I can go anytime, anywhere and come. When he realized that Brahma Tattva to be himself, he got liberated. So, up to entering into the Upadhi, identifying and suffering, up to this, even our life also is matching. But in this Upanishad, the one who was suffering, having discovered his own Brahma Tattva, got liberated. That aspect we have to do for our own moksha. तो हम भी अब परमात्मा स्वरूप होते हुए भी entered the body through the semanam and by identifying the स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीर we are suffering त्रय स्वप्नाः जागर स्वप्न सुषुप्ति. यहाँ तक हो गया. So as regard the binding is concerned, we are full, complete, matching with God. But God knew his own self and he got liberated. We also should know our essential self, get liberated. That is what we have to catch from this portion of Sajataha Bhutani Abhivyaikyata Imihanyam Vavadishatiti Sayetameva Purusham Brahma Tata Mama Pashyat Idam Adarsham Iti. Tasmad Idandro Nama Idandro Havai Nama Idandram Santamiti Ida Indra Iti Achakshate Parokshena Paroksha Priyayi Vai Deva Paroksha Priyayi Deva. So, all the gurus teach us the Pratyaksha Atma in a Paroksha Rupa. We having heard it Paroksha Rupa, we have to do the Pratyakshi Karanam. What is the meaning of it? In a Shabda Rupa, Paroksha Rupa, what they are talking about, the liberating state of Aham Brahmasmi, should not remain as Shabda Rupa, Buddhi Rupa, information and Jnanam. That pratyakshena, whoever gets the anubhava, he also gets liberated from the bondage of the upadhis. So with this, the Prathamodhyaya concludes. But sadhana has to be told, explanation has to, examples have to be given. More importantly, if this Purusham Brahma Tata Mama Pashyat is not achieved, what are the gatis we go through? A picture थोड़ा देने से थोड़ा data information रहेगा, helpful for contemplation. That is why second adhyaya spoke about if one has not realized the self, how he goes through the Janma Samsara Chakra. So in that, the three Janmas are discussed. And first Janma is from Pita's Sharira into the Mata's Sharira. And in Pita's Sharira, where he was? In the Rupa of Virya, Shukla. Before that, where he was? In the form of the Tejaha in every of the Anga. Before that, where he was? In the food that he has eaten. Before that, where he was? He was in the Oshadis. Before that, where he was? Inside the earth. Onto the earth, where did he fall from? Through the rain. From where? The Chandra Loka. And before that, where he was? In the Lokas, where he has spent, he was kept, depending on his earlier lives, karma and karma. In this way, from when it was going on, wrong question. He will not have answer. It is Anadi. Anadi Mayaya Suptaha. You get it? Mandukya Upanishad, Telugu people are studying very deeply, thoroughly that topic. From the time Anadi, this silsila of karma and for karma phala going into different lokas, from there going to Chandraloka, from there through Parjanya coming on to the earth, entering into the Oshadi, into the Annam, into the Sharira of the father, and then the Tejo Rupa of the Sharira, that is becoming the Virya or Shukla, then entering into the womb of mother. It comes हो रहा है उसको कोई अंत नहीं, कोई ऐसा विशेष आंसर नहीं. So this is Prathamam Janma. Then the Sabhavaitavya, Bhavaitri, all of that, the emotional things, the love and all, naturally it is expressed to, because the man knows it is himself only in that and all. So all of that again with Bhashya we have studied. We need not we should have the knowledge of all of that background. But the main knowledge is how I am going through three janmas if I am not realizing my essential self. And why this Trijanma Vrittanta Upanishad Mata has given only to create the Vairagya in me as to how pathetic will be that limited, helpless, hapless life lived through three janmas and in each of the janma. Then we should get that Vairagya and then want to know the self and get moksha. उसके लिए ये सब बताते. देखो, at a broader level, my own experiences of my own life, and I see the experiences of others. All of that is put by the Lord only to create Vairagya in us. A sharp intellected one will find Vairagya through all his experiences and the world's experiences. Because everything is perishing, everything is endful, everything is effortful, everything is ending with misery. Every moment there is tension, worry, anxiety, struggle. देखो उन सबको देख हमको वैराग्य आना चाहिए. Then we should seek, is there any place or an abode where all these are not there? Then immediately the Lord comes in the form of and Guru says, yes, there is something. That is this Atma Tattva. And the ones who don't get Vairagya with his own experiences, because his experience and the worldly, he will never be seeking the liberation. Therefore, the Lord will not come in his life as Guru to guide him towards liberation. He is called Pakka Samsari. Now, who will be like that? How long will be like that? When will we start his sadhana? All of that is beyond our thinking topics. What we have to think is in our life. Can we therefore get vairagya from all experience of world and our own, and can we become mokshus for our own moksha? If this is done, then for you the God will come as Guru. No, if he has come, now take the knowledge from him to how to get liberated and keep doing it. देखो, दूसरे के लिए सोचना ना स्पिरिचुअलिटी में वो अलाउड नहीं है इन दिस सेंस. यू कैन हेल्प अदर्स, लव अदर्स, बट द क्वेश्चनिंग दैट व्हेन विल दे गेट ए चांस फॉर मोक्ष, वो तो बताया इन अदर टेक्स्ट नो, व्हेन दैट केना भी परम कारुण्यकेन गुरुणा, some परम कारुण्य guru who like he has blessed you, when he blesses him also he will get an idea of moksha. You can have a prayer, but more focus should be on ourselves. Like your own house, your wife or husband are not coming to class, not doing any spirituality. Pray for them. उनको अपने टाइम में जो बना होता है ना, you mind your sadhana. Outside you love them, serve them. Don't generalize these things. That's why in that vivaha, dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, natichara. Only in dharma, artha, kama, we will live together, stay together. Is the mantra, the pratignya, the promise. Not mokshecha. मोक्ष तो एक एक जीव का अपना अलग होता है. It is very funny. The husband may be coming to satsang for 50 years, thinking that his wife is useless. She is already realized. In many houses, it looks very proof. समझ में इतने साल क्लास में आता हूँ, मेरे को कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता. My husband never comes, but he knows everything. That is why he doesn't come, because he knows already he has studied earlier. मैं इतना आपके क्लास आता हूँ, सुनता हूँ, यू आर यूजलेस, मेरे को मेडिटेशन होता नहीं. एंड ही सिट्स लाइक 6 hours 8 hours meditation. Moksha, in that moksha, the inner individual is in his own track going on. Dharma, artha, kama, one can be together. Therefore, don't worry about others. Mind your thing. इतना आ गया. तृतीयम जन्म क्या हुआ? Very interestingly, the तृतीयम जन्म is said to be the father leaving this body after educating the son and putting him in all that duties which he was doing. Trutiyam Janma is not of this person, but the father. That is only to say that father, son, all these relations are relative. What you have to see from Jiva standpoint. Kalko, this son himself will become father, and then let us say he gives duties to the son, he disappears into whichever the other yoni, that is his third janma. Again, the samsara continues. Point is that then आत्मा कृतकृत्य वयोगता प्रैति सहिता प्रयन्नेव पुनर्जायते तदस्य तृतीयम जन्म. Now, among these, when one is in the Oshadhi Anna Sthiti, one can't contemplate. But the contemplation for one's liberation can start from being in the Garbha. Possibility of contemplation for liberation through self-knowledge can start from being in the Garbha, then thrown out, then throughout the human life especially. Every day is an opportunity. Every moment is an opportunity to contemplate and know the self and get liberated. Here example of one Rishi is given, sage Vamadeva. He in the Garbha only started contemplating. First, सबसे पहले. Some people start after Janma, then went through the routine of Brahmacharya Grahastha Vanaprastha. In that Vanaprastha ashrama, they will mature to do the contemplation regarding the Bandha Moksha. And from the Guru Upadesha, Atma Jnana, then Atmanubhuti Moksha. That is also not wrong. Isn't it? Even the last 1 year of life, somebody becomes spiritual, meditational, realizes self, mukti chahiye na. Possibility भी है, गलत भी नहीं. But as early as possible. Example, as early as being in the womb. Garbhe Inusan. Here in shortcut it is said, but what we have to broadly understand is he analyzed his own past, where he was he and how he is thrown here and how many times it has happened. Then he analyzed other beings lower than him, higher than him. सबका ऐसा ही चल रहा है. He went up to analyzing even देवतास. अरे देवता लोग भी ऐसे ही जन्म मरण के चक्कर में लगे रहे. तो should I be lower than this? Should I be like this? Should I be higher in my performance for higher wombs? Should I live life like that to become like devatas? All of them he found to be again limited condition. Then what is the way to get out of all this nonsense and finally get liberated? It clicked to him, kids, only by identifying myself with my already existing infinite self. उसके बाद when I discover my infinite self, there's no feeling of finitude. There's no desire for becoming infinite. There's no need to struggle to do this or that, get this or that, go here or there, or get birth here or there. नहीं पड़ेगा जरूरत. That's what the Vamadevaji in the Garbha, seeing the Devatas, उनका लाइफ भी बर्थ डेथ से endowed है करके, even from that higher life he got vairagya. Then he understood, realizing the actual self only is moksha. Therefore, from all the wrong things pinjara, from the wrong decision pinjara, from the wrong action, and from that limited janma marana pinjara, like a shena, he broke and came out and flew in the sky of the infinite self freely. अनंत आत्मा अनुभूति में वो रेवल करने लगे. उसको बताने के लिए यहाँ शेन इव जरसा निरदय्यम. He is reporting कि I have done like this. He is not thinking कि मैं ऐसा करूंगा. कर चुके हो. That's why I said कि तदुक्तम ऋषिणा गर्भेनुसन. गर्भेनुसन ऋषिणा उक्तम. ऋषि ने कहा कि मैं गर्भ में रहकर ही. What did you do? Anvesham. I did Anveshana. Avedam Aham. Then through that Anveshana I came to know. What? Devanam Vishwani Vishwajanimani. The very many devatas, Sarve devatas, Janma and Marana. That also be appear to be limited to. Or he might have was given a chance for browsing through his earlier lives. He might have gone to even देवता शरीर also, बट वहां से मुक्त तो नहीं हुए. वो जो गड़बड़ करके फिर नीचे आ गए, फिर कोई अच्छा करके ऊपर गए. सो ऊपर नीचे नीचे ऊपर लहर चले जीवन की. All of that technically क्रिया कारक कर्म फलादि चक्कर. In another way, Janma Marana Chakkar. In another way, Karta Bhokta Chakkar. In another way, Upadhi Dadatma Chakkar. Say he came out. In whichever the language you put it. Bhavana is same. So, Shena iva Jarasa Niradiyam. He says before that, Shatam Mahapura Ayasi Arakshanada. Hundreds and hundreds of Puras were on the name of giving me Rakshana, protection. They were only Adaha, pulling me and tying me down only. No, it's a very technical thing. These are all very sublime. That's why we need to study these things through Bhashya. Like the doctors, like the yoga teaching acharyas, like the dietitians, like the exercise teaching people, how beautifully they help us, protect us by guiding us in health or not. But at a higher level of thinking, on the name of Rakshana or protection, are they not tying us down to the concept that you are body? That is the meaning of e feeling. Shatam ayasi puraha. Shatamma pura ayasihi arakshan but adaha. So many bodies have protected me, but only to I am body concept. That is the power of thinking. If you can think, doctor gave the health, no doubt, but he also made you think that you are a body. The exercise, the yoga teaching, Acharya also made you healthy. But again, that made you feel that you are only body. But as a body, even the yoga Acharya also will become old. He also cannot do the asanas at one age. He will also die. This is what it revealed to, clicked to him. Then he says, Shenah Javasa Niradiyam. With the speed like an of eagle, vulture, Niradiyam. I just broke out all these shackles. Garbe eva etat shayanah Vamadeva evam was. सो वामदेव जी गर्भ में रहकर ही ये सब करके भी मोक्ष पाकर वहीं से उन्होंने घोषणा की एवं वाचा ओके देयरफॉर लाइक हिम एनीवन सह एवं विद्वान अस्मात् शरीर भेदात् ऊर्ध्व उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा समभवत् समभवति like him anybody who breaks open his shackles of identity with any of the upadhis born out of ignorance, you know, if they try to know their own real self, they also get liberated, whoever they are, essential real self. सो मेन सेंटेंस क्या है इसमें एवं विद्वान अस्मात् शरीर भेदात ऊर्ध्वम उत्क्रम्य दिस श्लोका वी स्टडीड फॉर 10 days अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृता समभवत् समभवत् means knowing the self that happiness and bliss which we imagine to get through any of the other upadhi तादात्म्य and limited sukha ये सब मिलकर भी उस आत्मानुभव के सामने एक समुद्र के बूंद के लहर के समान मात्र है so this is how the example is given of Amadevaji. Then the assurance of moksha also is given to say that it is not impossible, it is possible. Now, obviously, we ask the question what is the process, sir? How to go about it? That is where comes the third adhyaya, isn't it? In that, only one main thing is self inquiry. For that, also a dramatization is done of all these adhurika, jignasus, mumukshus, and viragins. That is a very, very essential thought. They saw the limitations of the outer life, they didn't want it. That not wanting it is called vairagya. And they want to get out of those limitations. That is, getting out of that desire is called mumuksha. Then how to go about it? They want to know and inquire. That's called jignasa. So becoming vairagi, becoming mumukshu, becoming jignasu, isn't it? So to our 8 personalities, this vairagi also I think we have to add from tomorrow because in the list of our 8 personalities which we remind ourselves every day, the jignasu mumukshu is anyway there. Vairagi add karenge, vairagyavan, the great vairagis. That inquiry what they said did, how they came out of all attachments, bondages, and found the prajnana Brahma to be their essential self, which we all also have to do. And when we engrossingly, deeply involve in this search, research, process, prakriya, to the exclusion of anything else, then the understandings, the subtleties, really the travel inside through meditation, all of that can be conspicuously seen and experienced. None of these are impossible or ambiguous. They are very possible, very clear. The search of the self taking us to the Prajnana Brahma self. But we have to fully engrossed in that pursuit with full faith and efforts, as they have done. The three conditions: Vairagya, Jignas, Mumukshita, Jignas. वैराग्य नहीं है तो we'll become a bhogi in the world. मुमुक्षुता नहीं है, we become sentimental, emotional, so that we don't leave the world. जिज्ञासा नहीं है, we don't go disciplined way to Guru to study Shastra, to know where is the self, what is the self, how to know it. तो ये minimum necessary qualifications. Okay. VMJ, Vairagya, V for M for Mumukshata, J for Jignasa. So, those little discussions, contemplations, how they did. They had already the data earlier heard, but in the rush and gush of youth lives, wanting to do, wanting to gain, etc. of the world, they didn't consider that already learned or heard knowledge. But once they found in themselves the Vairagya, Mumukshata and Jignasa, then they remembered. All Shastras in general, particularly Vamadeva and his approach, they adopted it. They went and inquired. Then from objects to the Indriyas, from Indriyas to the Chitta and its Vrittis, and the Chitta and its Vrittis, they came to Prajnanam Brahma. Clear? This one last third chapter we will see tomorrow, so that really we will be able to feel contented that even in synopsis time we covered all topics. कल इसको हम देख कर पूरा उपनिषद पढ़ेंगे. So maybe in half an hour only the class may conclude tomorrow, a little more, doesn't matter. Then definitely from 9 to 2024 और 10 to जो भी तारीख होगा, आज 8 हो गए ना, हाँ 10 तारीख से हम अपना अध्ययन शुरू करेंगे. किसका? श्वेता अश्वतर उपनिषद. ऋषि का नाम है श्वेताश्वतर. On his name that Upanishad is there. Keep it ready. With Bhashyam, we'll go through. It's all mantra रूपा. भाष्य भी simple होता है. No, not much गंभीरता. So it is the amalgamation of bhakti, karma yoga, Vedanta, Ashtanga yoga. सब होते हैं. I tell you, our study of text which we are given or choosing are such beautiful in every time that it is the summary and gist of the earlier ones, or the extension of the earlier ones, or the depth of the earlier ones, or the fulfillment of the earlier one. मजा आता है मुझे तो ये सब ऑब्जर्व करके. That is called grace of God. And abide in that grace is showered on me in the form of these, and stick to what is to be done that day, that week, that month. The two things only to be done are study in the come to class, listen and study. Second is whatever Bahiranga Antaranga Sadhana has to be done, doing it. The remaining opening of the gates or the focusing of the lights, oh, apne आप होएगा, believe it. Faith, have the faith. So what is the last chapter's essence? Prajnana Brahma Mahavakya, and one round of total Parayana of this Upanishad. Tomorrow we will see, with that we will conclude. Om, 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 Purnamadah, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ. श्रीगुरुभ्यो परमऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. नारायण. Now we understood how spiritual evolution happens. Relentlessly with faith, we pursue what is in our hands. With again same faith, relentlessly, we keep on praying to the divine and wait for the grace. Grace comes only in the one form of clarity of knowledge, Siddhantika knowledge, and in the Vyavahara it is called as sadhana, and on the meditational seat in the form of experience, the grace comes. And in that, the question of when did it happen, how time it takes, all of that are poking of the mind, not allowing us to do what we have to do. Don't allow that aspect of the mind. I know what to do, I am doing what I know. I also know that we can never know when will the result will come. The Lord knows. Let us know that and leave it to his knowledge, discretion, wisdom when he wants to reveal. But we are keeping up our vairagya, mumukshuta and jignasa. And by keeping up vairagya, we are actually away from the world. By keeping up the mokshuta, really we are feeling the restlessness to come out of all limitation. By keeping up the jignasa, we are studying shastras, we are listening shastras, studying shastra, contemplating and trying to go deep in our meditation. बस इतना अपने हाथ में जो कर दी, slowly it opens. By trying to pull the bud and make a flower, it won't happen. Give it the required atmosphere and give freedom, it gets blossomed. So to we give atmosphere to our heart, our regular satsanga, sadhya and sadhana, slowly the heart bud also gets blossomed. And in that blossoming, only one thing, I am Brahman, that's Prajnanam Brahma, and that is me. Thank you.